Togetherness the way it is seen in the Zink family is hard to find. Going back home regularly is routine for the many descendants of Anton and Anna Zink, natives of Germany who came to make their home in Beaver Creek, Ohio. Actually, Anton Zink, son of Xavier and Teresa Zink, who was born in 1846 in Fottenbach, Baden, Germany, received permission from his parents to come to America at only 14 years old. He came directly to the farm of his uncle, where he made his home in the northwest corner of Beaver Creek Township. Anton attended Ailey School, located on Kemp Road at that time. He was a devout Catholic and a charter member of Holy Trinity Church. In 1876, he took another trip to Germany, and deciding America was the most wonderful country to make a home, he invited his future bride, Anna Ketterer, to come back to America with him. He and Anna became parents of 8 sons and 2 daughters. The 3 youngest sons, Ted, Frank, and Max, and eldest daughter, Christine, never married and lived together on the farm. Zink Field at Beaver Creek High School was named for Frank, who taught school here for many years. Home is Beaver Creek for the Zinks, and that fact isn't likely to change.
I've always been proud to be a Zink. When I got married, I dropped my middle name and used Zink instead. Then I'd be a Zink for the rest of my life.
But my family never bore the Zink name. My grandma, Louise Zink Bierschen, was one of the 2 Zink daughters of Anton and Anna Zink, and the only daughter to marry. Louise was a graduate of Miami University and taught in a one-room schoolhouse in Beaver Creek. Aunt Teeny worked at NCR. John Bierschen was Louise's husband, and my mother and uncle, Anna and Herman Bierschen, were the only 2 grandchildren without the Zink name. My mother, Anna Bierschen, married Richard Leibold, and I am Mary Ann Leibold Shane, the oldest of the 8 Leibold children, wife of Jim Shane, and mother of 5 children and grandmother to 16 grandchildren.
I am Shirley Zink. I have been married to Jimmy Zink for 63 friggin' years. And the reason that we have been married so long is pure perseverance on my part. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Ralph Warner. I've been married to Mary Ann Zink for over 40 years. I wanted to comment on the Zink family from my perspective. I have never seen a family as big as that. It seems to love each other to a point of gathering at once a month to eat or whatever else they do. I am not sure that my family could handle that, scattered across 7 or 8 states.
Hi, I'm Marcia Zink Johnson, and I'm telling you I'm proud to be a Zink.
Hi, I'm Ann Zink DeBard. My parents were Carl and Alvera Zink, and I'm proud to be a Zink. I love being a Zink because we have a friend everywhere. Everywhere I used to go, there's always a Zink. You'd run into a Zinks.
Hi, I'm Joe Zink, son of Herman and Lucille Zink.
Hi there, I'm Chris Zink, and I'm married to Rick Zink, and I'm from a very small family. And when I joined the Zink family, I couldn't believe how many people there were. We have a great time getting it together, and it's just a lot of fun.
I'm John Cogan, and I met Dorothy Zink Lawrence at a local meeting of the Singles and Widows group at a local church. After a couple of these meetings, we decided to meet at a restaurant for a bite to eat. Since I was without a car at the time, I drove my S10 pickup, which was a little bit dilapidated, and I was hoping that floorboards would stay in. We got through that okay. Developed a lasting relationship. The rest of the story is that it led to knowing many warm and supportive friends in this Zink family.
I am Karen Heisman Zink, and I am proud to be a Zink. My husband is Joe Zink, and my in-laws were Herman and Lucille Zink.
As a child with all my 20 other cousins, when you add me, I had 21 of them. But Uncle Frank, Uncle Max, and Uncle Ted, who never married, and Aunt Tina was the girl that never married, and they played quite a role in my life. And the one thing I always remember is that you would always hear, "A man is as good as his word."
I also remember how welcome the uncles and Aunt Tina would make us feel when we would go out to see them. Uncle Ted would play the piano, and sometimes my mother would sing, and Uncle Frank would tell jokes and tell about the war, and Uncle Max would show Serena and me a magazine, usually Susan Roebuck, and we'd pick out which girl is the prettiest on which page.
My favorite Zink memories would be the closeness of our family, the times that we've spent together over the years, and just total family.
I have many happy memories from becoming part of the family. They are a family that truly value family time. Their celebrations and holidays are large get-togethers. I have always said the cousins are as close as brothers and sisters, and all the credit goes to previous generations for making it known to their children the importance of family.
Hi, my name is Reese Warner. My parents are Jeff and Alexis Warner, and my grandparents are Ralph and Mary Ann Zink Warner. I am in the 6th generation of the Zink family living in Beaver Creek.
Eating donuts from Grandma's because my cousin ate that with me. The Zink Kid Camp Out because I'm with my cousins and my uncle because we're sleeping out in the dark and it's fine.
I can remember after milking, my uncles would squirt milk at me as they hand milked the cows, and they always were feeding the cats. But then after they milk, the next morning, they would load the milk in 10-gallon cans, and we would take it all down to. We drove to Dayton, and I usually rode with Uncle Ted or Uncle Max did that, and sold the milk, but we drank more milk that was unpasteurized before we took it down to the producers, which they processed the milk to sell at the stores. And I can remember also after they built the new house, they always used the old house where my uncles, my dad and my uncles and my aunt grew up. It was a one room big, but one room, and they slept upstairs. And my dad was telling me about he could watch the stars through the cracks of the roof, and snow sometimes would fall in on them. But I mean, of course, there was no central heating at that time, and they enjoyed that so much. But the thing I remember is after we get up at 5 o'clock and milk the herd, which was usually at that time about 25 cows. We would go back, and instead of eating in the big house, They always had the breakfast, potatoes, and quite a meal. After milking, that would be about maybe 7 o'clock. And it was just quite a memory to share with everybody.
Well, when I was a little girl, maybe 6 or 7, I can picture Grandma gathering eggs, and she had a little bonnet on. And then as far as Grandpa's concerned, when we go out, my dad, who's Andy, would go over and sit in the corner with Grandpa, and they'd talk together in German.
When I was about 10 or 11 years old, I used to ride my bike through the field and to the farm. Andy would let me sit on the tractors and in the Jeep, and I would pretend to drive. One day when I was 12 years old, Andy asked me if I'd like to go out to the field and bring in the Ferguson tractor. I ran as fast as I could, hoping I could get there before he would change his mind. I only drove that tractor about a couple hundred yards, but what a thrill. I knew I was the first Zink boy in my generation to drive one of the farm tractors. Shortly after that, I began to start helping baling. Otto owned the baler, and he would bale the hay. We would follow with tractor and wagon and pick up the bales and stack them in such a way that we would not lose our load. We would then return to the barn and unload in the same fashion. After that, there was always time to relax under the shade tree before it was time to milk. We would lay under the shade tree and listen to Andy tell us stories. When September rolled around, we would fill silo. Filling silo was a major event. It was a real production, and everyone had their job. But at noon, everyone stopped, and we had a meal bigger than Thanksgiving. Seemed like we had 3 meats, 2 kinds of potatoes, many, many vegetables, and of course, a long list of desserts. After we'd have our lunch, we'd again lay under that shade tree and listen to the old farmers tell stories. I've since forgotten those stories, but the memories remain. I remember driving tractors to both the Sweeneys and the Hoagland farms. The Hoaglands moved to the west edge of Yellow Springs. They sold the land to Wright State University. One day, Andy was driving the tractor up there and asked me if I wanted to go along. Without a second thought, I jumped on the drawbar, grabbed onto the seat, and rode that 12 miles up to the Hoagland farm.
On Sunday nights, we would visit the farm after dinner. We'd talk and we'd watch TV and we'd listen and sing with Uncle Ted playing the accordion or the piano. We had pop and snacks before we went home. The adults would eat molasses bread, which was peanut butter and molasses, and we would have snacks like Cracker Jacks, Juicy Fruit Gum, and 3 Musketeers candy bars. When Aunt Teeny and the boys aged, my mother had them for Sunday dinners with my grandparents and our families. Weekly Sunday suppers followed by games of euchre. They were fun.
My favorite Zink family memory would be Christmas at the Hall. The Hall is our family potluck dinner that we do the first Tuesday of every month, and it has been going on for almost 100 years. But the first Tuesday in December is extra special because we celebrate Christmas as a family. We had larger than normal crowds, more family members showed up, bigger potluck, better food, but we also had a visit from Santa Claus. At the end of after dinner, the kids would gather around and sing Christmas carols. And when Jingle Bells came, that was Santa's cue to come into the hall. All of us had a chance to sit on Santa's lap and ask for something that we wanted for Christmas, and of course get a candy cane. What I think special about this is I don't know when the tradition of Santa coming to the hall began, but it's still around today. And my kids have had the opportunity to sit on Santa's lap and get a candy cane, which I think makes it extra special.
And of course, the hall. At Christmas, Easter summer get-togethers, and Tuesday monthly dinners.
We come to the hall on the first Tuesday of each month, and it's a fun times.
One of my memories of the hall is that the serving line in the basement is very well defined with some very sturdy pipes. A couple of months ago, I saw a little boy at one of our potluck dinners reaching up to try to grab the pipe. This brought back memories when I was younger. I remember not being able to reach up and grab that pipe, but then later, when I got a little older and a little taller, I was able to reach it. We would try to do some gymnastics, but by the time we did that, adult came along and asked us to stop so that we didn't bust our head open. I guess some things just never change.
A wonderful time at the hall that we had, which I almost was too young, but my older cousins enjoyed it much more than I did.
And some of you might remember the Zink Christmas party at the hall when there weren't very many young people. At that time, Aunt Teeny bought gifts for all of us. One Christmas, at least 60 years or more, she gave me a beautiful silver pendant. This is that pendant.
Since I'm the oldest of this generation, I was coming here with my daughter at Christmas time, and Aunt Teeny was standing at the top of the steps, and she saw me with this little girl, and she says, "Get that little girl up here," and she took her. Her name was Jean, and I didn't see her for the rest of the night because Aunt Teeny had her, and I have many, many memories at Aunt Teeny's with Mary Louise and Jim and them at Christmas time, that great big house, and we got to run all over the place. I could go on and on, but I don't want to keep doing it.
There is a picture from 1957 of 102 Zink family members celebrating Easter at the hall, the place where every first Tuesday of the month dinners are still held. This monthly covered dish dinner has been going on since 1919.
My name is Father Jim Manning, and I'm pastor here at St. Mary of the Assumption Parish here in Springboro, and I am the son of Marie Zink, who was the daughter of Carl and Anna Zink. And because of their strong family and their strong faith, as I grew up there in Beaver Creek, I perceived a call by God to be a priest. I don't think I would have recognized that call without that strong family that the Zinks had and the faith that enabled them to stay so strongly together as a family. And here I am, a priest 41 years, and I attribute it a lot to the Zink family.
I've been very blessed with such a good Catholic foundation with all my family, all the way from our grandma to our great-grandma, that has just come all the way down to us. And that great morals, great everything, great fun. So I am blessed to be a Zink.
I remember each Saturday from age 5 on meeting Aunt Teeny and Grandma for Mass at Holy Trinity Church in Dayton, Ohio. We would sit by the nativity window because that beautiful stained glass window was donated to the church by Anton and Anna Zink and their family. The beautiful nativity, which graces St. Albert the Great Church at Christmas, was given one piece at a time on Christmas Eve to my grandfather, John Bierschen, every year for his help with the farm and family from Grandpa and Grandma, Great-Grandpa and Grandma Zink. What a treasure for me to see during the holiday season at the nativity that was used at my grandparents' house, now being displayed in our church.
Obviously, as a priest, one of the things I remember most about the Zink family is their strong German Catholic background, and I think that faith enables a family to be together and to stay together. I remember a lot of the outings and family activities are related to baptisms and the new life and the weddings and the funerals and the first Holy Communion, how strong the Catholic faith was to the Zink family. I remember them, Max and Teddy and Frank talking about the good old days at a Holy Trinity Church. And then later on, we all practiced our faith at St. Helens. I remember Grandma and Grandpa, Carl and Anna Zink, going to the 6:30 Mass on Sunday morning at St. Helens. And then as St. Helens moved out toward Beaver Creek, St. Luke's was built. And again, a lot of the family activities revolved around the faith. They were revolved around those parishes: Holy Trinity, St. Helens, St. Luke, and how strong that faith was, and how the Zink family came from Germany at a time that they thought that the Catholic faith needed to be preserved. So they came to this country so they could practice publicly and openly their Catholic faith. And I do have, it came down from me, a copy of the German Bible that the Zinks had. They came from Germany at that time. And you can see the print there is obviously in German, and you can see the cover is really old. And I think that Bible strongly speaks for the faith of the Zink family and how that faith enabled them to stay together so strongly as a family.
What togetherness, what a legacy, what a family.
It's a pleasure to be able to share some thoughts that I love to think of, and it's a pleasure to be part of this celebration for the Zink heritage. Thank you.
Sing a song of long ago when things were green and moving slow, and people'd stop to say hello, or they'd say hi to you. Would you like to come over for tea with the missus and me? It's a real nice way to spend a day in Dayton, Ohio, on a lazy Sunday afternoon in 1903. sing a song of long ago when things could grow and days flowed quietly. The air was clean and you could see, and folks were nice to you. Would you like to come over for tea with the missus and me? It's a real nice way to spend a day in Dayton, Ohio, on a lazy Sunday afternoon in 1903.